Welcome to Mother Media Bhakti YouTube channel. My name is Preeta Srinivasan. Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Pahi Mam. Shri Ganesha, Shri Ganesha, Shri Ganesha Raksha Mam. Om Shri Sai Ram. My lovable and humble pranams to your divine feet. Today, we are going to recite the 4th chapter of the Sai Satcharita. In the previous chapter, Hemadban described the circumstances which led him to write the Sai Satcharita. And also, I should tell you, from today, for all the chapters, I am going to tell the meanings for few difficult words, which will make all of us to understand and read the Sai Satcharita. The mission of the saints. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, that whenever there is a decay of dharma, which is righteousness, and an ascendancy of the unrighteousness, I manifest myself for the protection of the virtuous and the destruction of the vicious. Vicious means deliberately cruel or violent. And for the establishment of the righteousness, I manifest myself age after age. When under the cloak of religion, people indulge in moral practices, when people belonging to different sects fight amongst themselves, and when Brahmins fail to do Sandhya adoration and the Orthodox leave their religious practices, when yogis neglect their meditation, when people begin to think that wealth, progeny means descendants or one's successor, wife or their sole concern, and thus turn away from the true path of salvation, then saints appear and try to set matters right by their words and action. They serve us as beacon lights and show us the path and the right way for all of us to follow it. In this way, many saints, Nivritti, Dhyandev, Muktabai, Eknath, Tukaram, Narahari, Ramdas, and various saints did appear at various times to show the right path to the people, and so the present advent came as Shri Sai Baba of Shirdi. Personality of Sai Baba. It is an account of Shri Sai Baba that Shirdi grew into importance. Let us see what sort of a personage Sai Baba was. He conquered the sansar, that is worldly existence, which is very difficult and hard to cross. Peace or mental calm was his ornament, and he was a repository of wisdom. He was the home of Vaishnava devotees, most generous like Karna, amongst all. He had no love for the perishable things, and was always engrossed in self-realization, which was his sole concern. He felt no pleasure in the things of this world or of the world beyond. His antarang, that is heart, was as clear as a mirror, and his speech always rained nectar. The rich or the poor people were the same to him. He was the Lord of all beings. He spoke freely and mixed with all people, watched the acting and dances of nautch girls, and heard ghazal songs. Still he swerved not an inch from samadhi. The name of the Allah was always on his lips. While the world awoke, he slept. And while the world slept, he was vigilant. His inner self was as calm as the deep sea. His ashram could not be determined, nor his actions could be definitely determined. And though he sat in one place, he knew all the transactions of the world. His darbar was imposing. He told hundreds of stories daily. Still he swerved hot. He swerved, that is, change in direction abruptly, not an inch from his vow of silence. He always leaned against the wall in the masjid or walked in the morning, noon and evening towards Lendi and Chavadi. Still he all at times abided in the self. Blessed are the grass leaves and stones of Shirdi, for they could kiss the holy feet of Sai Baba and take his dust on their heads. Shirdi became to us devotees like another Pandharpur, Jagannath, Dwaraka, Nashik, Triambakeshwar, Ujjain, Mahakaleshwar, or Mahabaleshwar Gokhan. Shampooing his legs was our bath in Triveni Prayag, and drinking the holy water of his feet destroyed our sins. His commands were Vedas, and accepting his Udi and Prasad was all purifying. He was our Sri Krishna and Sri Ram, who gave us solace, and he was our Parabrahma, who is the absolute reality. Thus the fame of Sai Baba spread far and wide, and people from all parts came to take his darshan and be blessed. By mere darshan, minds of people, whether pure or impure, would become quiet at once. They got here the same unparalleled joy that devotees get at Pandharpur by seeing Vitthal Rukmai. This is not an exaggeration. Consider what a devotee says in this respect. Dictum of Goli Bua. An old devotee by name Goli Bua, aged about 95 years, was a Varkari of Pandari. Varkari means a pilgrim. He stayed for 8 months at Pandharpur and for 4 months, Ashada to Kartik, that is July to November, on the banks of the river Ganges. He had a donkey with him for carrying his luggage and a disciple as his companion. Every year he made his worry or trip to Pandharpur and came to Shirdi to see Sai Baba, who he loved the most. He used to gaze at Baba saying, "This is Pandrinath Vitthal incarnate, the merciful Lord of poor and helpless." This Goli Bua, as an old devotee of Vithoba, and had made many trips to Pandari, and he testified that Sai Baba was the real Pandrinath. Vitthal himself appeared. Sai Baba was very fond of remembering and singing God's name. He always uttered Allah Malik, God is Lord, and in his presence made others sing God's name continuously day and night for all 7 days of the week. This is called Nam Sabda. Once he asked Das Ganu Maharaj to do the Nama Sabda. He replied that he would do it, provided he was assured that Vitthal would appear at the end of the 7th day. Then Baba, placing his hand on his chest, assured him that certainly Vitthal would appear, but for the devotee must be earnest and devout. One need not go far out to see Dwaraka. Will Vitthal come here from some outside place? He is here. Only when the devotee is bursting with love and devotion, Vitthal will manifest himself here. After the Sabda was over, Vitthal did manifest himself in the following manner. Kaka Sahib Deshit was as usual sitting in meditation after his bath. He saw Vitthal in his vision. When he went at noon for the Baba's darshan, Baba asked him point blank, "Did Vitthal Patil come? Did you see him? He is a very twant fellow. Catch him firmly, otherwise he will escape if you are even a little inattentive." This happened in the morning, and at the noon there was another Vitthal darshan. On seeing this and remembering Baba's words, Kaka Sahib Deshit was much surprised and delighted. He bought one picture of Vithoba and placed it in a shrine for worship. Bhagwant Rao's Ksheer story. How fond was Baba of Vithal's worship was illustrated in Bhagwant Rao's Ksheer story. The father of Bhagwant Rao was a devotee of Vithoba and used to make worries to Pandharpur. He also had an image of Vithoba at home, which he worshipped. After his death, the son stopped everything, the worry, the worship, and the Shraddha ceremony, etc. When Bhagwant Rao came to Shirdi, Baba, on remembering his father, at once said, "His father was my friend, so I dragged him here." He means his son, Bhagwant Rao. He never offered Naivedya, which is the offering of food, and so he starved Vitthal and me. So I brought him here. I shall remonstrate with him now and set him to worship. Das Ganu's bath in Prayag. The Hindus think that a bath in the holy turf of Prayag, where the Ganga and Yamuna meet, is very meritorious, and thousands of pilgrims go there periodically to have the sacred bath there. Once, Das Ganu thought that he should go to Prayag for a bath and came to Baba to get the permission for doing so. Baba replied to him, "It is not necessary to go so far. Our Prayag is here, believe me. Then, wonder of wonders, when Dasganu placed his head on Baba's feet, out flowed streams of Ganga and Yamuna water from both the toes of Baba. Seeing this miracle, Dasganu was overwhelmed with feelings of love and adoration, and tears filled his eyes. Immaculate Conception of Sai Baba and his first advent in Shirdi. Nobody knew the parents, birth or birthplace of Sai Baba. Many inquiries were made. Many questions were put to Baba and others regarding these, but no satisfactory answer or information has yet been obtained. Practically, we know nothing about these matters. Namdev and Kabir were not born like ordinary mortals. Like that, Sai Baba, he first manifested himself as a young lad of 16 years under a neem tree in Shirdi for the sake of bhaktas. Even then, he seemed to be full of knowledge of Brahma. He had no desire for worldly objects even in the dream. He kicked out the Maya and Mukti was serving at his feet. One old woman of Shirdi, the mother of Nana Chobdar, described him as, "This young lad, fair, smart and very handsome, was first seen under the neem tree, seated in an asan. The people of the village were wonderstruck to see such a young lad practicing hard penance, not minding heat and cold. By day he was associated with none. By night he was afraid of nobody. People were wondering and asking, whence this young chap has turned up? His form and features were so beautiful that a mere look endeared him to all. He went to nobody's door, always sat near the neem tree. Outwardly he looked very young, but by his action he was really a great soul. He was the embodiment of dispassion and was an enigma to all. One day it so happened that God Kandoba possessed the body of some devotee, and people began to ask him, Deva, that is God, you please enquire what blessed father's son in this lad, and whence did he come? God Kandoba asked them to bring a pickaxe and dig in a particular place. When it was dug, bricks were found underneath a flat stone. When the stone was removed, a corridor was seen in which 4 samayis, that is lights, were burning. The corridor led to a cellar where cow-mouth shaped structures, wooden boats, rosaries were seen. Kandoba said, this lad practiced penance here for 12 years. Then the people began to question the lad about this. He put them by telling them that this was his guru's place, his holy vatan, and requested them to guard this well. The people then closed the corridor as before. As Ashwatha and Adumba trees are held sacred, Baba regarded this neem tree equally sacred and loved it most. Mahalshapati and other Shirdi devotees regard this site as a resting place of Baba's Guru and prostrate before it. 3 Vadas. The site with the neem tree and surrounding space was bought by Mr. Hari Vinayak Sate, and on this site a big building styled Sate's Vada was erected. This Vada was a sole resting place for pilgrims who flocked there. A platform who built round the neem tree and lofts with steps were constructed. Under the steps there is a niche facing south, and devotees sit on the par, that is platform, facing north. It is believed that he who burns incense there on Thursday and Friday evenings will be God's grace be happy. This Vada was old and needed some repairs. The necessary repairs, additions and alterations have been made by the Sansthan. Then after some years, another Vada, Dikshit Vada, was constructed. Kaka Sahib Dikshit, solicitor of Mumbai, had gone to England. He had injured his leg in an accident there. The injury could not be got rid of by any means. Nana Sahib Chandokar advised him to see Sai Baba. So he went to Sai Baba in 1909 and requested him to cure the lameness of the mind rather than that of his leg. He was so much pleased with the darshan of Sai Baba that he decided to reside in Shirdi. So he built a Vada for himself and other devotees. The foundation of this building was laid on 10th of 12th, 1910. On this day, 2 other important events took place. Mr. Dada Sahib Karpade was given permission to return home, and the night aarti at the Chavadi was started. The Vada was completed and was inhabited on the Ram Navami day in 1911 with due rites and formalities. Then another Vada or palatial mansion was put up by the famous milliner, Mr. Booty of Nagpur. A lot of money was spent on this building, but it was all well utilized, as Sai Baba's body is resting in this Vada, which is now called the Samadhi Mandir. The site of this mandir formerly had a garden, which was watered and looked after by Baba. 3 Vadas thus came up, where there was none formerly. Of these, Sate's Vada was most useful to all in the early days. The story of the garden, which was attended by Baba with the help of Vaman Tatya, the temporary absence of Sai Baba from Shirdi, and his coming again to Shirdi with the marriage party of Chand Patil, the company of Devidas, Jankidas and Jangagis, Baba's wrestling match with Mohidin Tamboli, residing in the masjid, love of Mr. Dengle and other devotees, and other incidents will be described in the next chapter. Om Sai Ram. For our own safety during this corona period, if we recite this mantra, it's very good for us to keep good health. Achyudananda Govinda Saisha Nama Bejashat Nashyanti Sagala Rogaha Satyam Satyam Vadamyaham. Om Shri Sai Ram. Thank you all, and please keep watching our Mother Media Bhakti channel and post your comments and feedbacks.